Hello, it's Justin from Justin's HIV Journal, and I'm talking to you as I almost always talk to you from Laurel, Maryland. Well, guess what? HIV criminalization has come to Maryland. It's not like it's ever left, but actually, there's been more of an emphasis lately because one of our esteemed senators, who's actually I think he is the oldest serving senator in Maryland, the Democrat by the name of, I think, Norman Stone, and he's a representative of Baltimore County. He's proposing a bill that would change the transmission of HIV into a felony from a misdemeanor. That means instead of the 2 years of minimum 2 years of serving for a misdemeanor act, it would be 25. Instead of a $2,500 fine, it would be a $10,000 fine. This is wrong, and let me tell you why. Now, I am on the fence a lot with this issue, but we all know that we live in an age where HIV transmission is very well possible, and especially in the Maryland and DC area, it's there's depending on what demographic you are, it's very possible that you have contracted or already infected with the HIV virus. I've been HIV positive since 2005, and I'm still alive and kicking and doing well. Now, here's the thing. I looked at this bill. It's actually Senate Bill 60, and this bill has no specifics about transmission. It doesn't address the issue of the two parties being held accountable. It doesn't address the issues of HIV, saliva, in saliva, it doesn't address any of those kind of issues. When we already know that, and so you have to drink a gallon of saliva for HIV to actually have a chance to be transmitted to you from another person. So, other bills like this have been enacted across the United States. Now, at least, it's been known that in Iowa, there's a man that actually served 25 years for using a condom during sex, and also because he was HIV positive, he and took care of himself. He had or was able to his virus. His virus was undetectable, which means that it's almost nearly impossible to transmit during intercourse. But also, he used a condom. So he had sex. He used a condom, and then the law stated that even if he was protecting himself and protecting the other person from HIV, or protecting himself from any of the STIs that they might have, it didn't matter because he still could be held accountable for the spread of HIV, which, of course, he took the responsible route of protecting himself and not wanting to infect anybody else. But it didn't matter. Nobody cared. They don't look at that. They're looking at this as, if you're HIV positive and you're having sex with anyone, protected or not, then it's a crime. This is wrong. If I have sex with a random stranger and I use a condom, now, they haven't asked me if I'm positive, and I haven't told them. That still means that I can go to jail. Is that right? I don't think so. But I also think that I'm very open about my HIV status. Like I said, I've been positive since 2005, and Justin's HIV Journal has been going strong since 2008. I wrote an HIV book for children. I'm very open about my status, but not a lot of us are. If they put this bill into play, if this bill passes, then it'll make it even harder for anybody to want to disclose their status, because they fear that they can go to jail. Now, this is going by what I know. There's no co-sponsors for this bill yet, and thank God for that, because I hope nobody touches this bill. I hope nobody wants to actually co-sponsor this bill, because the more you do, the more stronger it gets. This is wrong. It's like branding. I'm HIV. I live in Maryland. I live here in Maryland, in this state, and I cannot believe that there's somebody who wants to make us all criminals. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's say I had a boyfriend who is negative, right? Have a boyfriend that's negative. I have sex with him. He can go back to the police and say, hey, you know Justin B. Terry Smith? He's the guy I had sex with, and he knew that he was HIV positive. And, he knew. I could go to jail, still be convicted of a crime for that. Doesn't matter if I told him, I could still be convicted of a crime. And on top of that, there's many other aspects to this that can happen. Like, supposedly, if I didn't know that I had HIV, I had no clue whatsoever, and I had sex with my boyfriend, I still could be convicted of a crime, even if I didn't know. Because he could just say, oh, he knew. He knew. There's no record of it. How are we supposed to prove that? But we can't. See, that's the problem. And then also on top of this bill does not put responsibility on both parties. It takes two to tango. We all know that. Ladies, tell them to put on a condom. Fellas, tell them to put on a condom. Put on a condom yourselves. Protect each other. Seriously, we all know that this is a day of HIV and AIDS, and we know that we are all susceptible for infection. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, Hispanic or Asian, male or female, young or old, gay or straight. It doesn't matter. Lesbian, it does not matter. We all are susceptible. We all have to take responsibility. All of us have to take responsibility. And if this bill gets passed, there is going to be hell to pay. And it won't just because I'm not saying that because I'm gonna threaten anybody, but I'm saying that somebody from my past might come up and say, hey, I had sex with Justin and he didn't tell me that he was positive. But I did protect myself and I protected you from me. So my thing is I don't want that to be the case. I don't want any transmission. I could go to jail. Even if it was before I even knew I was positive. I could still go to jail. For 25 years and have a fine of $10,000. This is wrong, I tell you. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Thank you.